So this podcast is brought to you by Sci-Space Computer Solutions. So if you want to upgrade, repair, or have a virus be removed in your computer, you can find Sci-Space Computer Solutions in Facebook. Their Facebook page is Sci-Space Tech. You can just search it in the Facebook, and this is available only in the locality of Mankayan. So this podcast is something about being a teacher. These are my thoughts on it. So this is crap, I recorded a podcast a while back, 20 minutes ago, and when I tried to review it, the audio sucks. It sucks a lot. I used a lapel mic, Booyah mic, and I don't know what happened there. It's a lot of, maybe it's because of the vibration of the car. That is why it's a little bit, not good at all. It's not good at all. And I hope this one is better, even though this is not also good. It's also not up to the standard. But and as you can see, for those who are watching the video, this is during nighttime inside my car and while driving going home. Well, this is the only time I have, because who has the time to have a podcast in a studio, or better yet, in a better place with better lighting if you are a teacher? The only time you can have time for podcasting is when you're driving. So I usually use my driving time to listen to podcasts. GRE, Lex Friedman, Bert, and Brian Callens, all those comedians in the United States. But I began to think, why not make a podcast while you're driving? So I'm trying to find a better mic for it so you won't be disturbed by the sound of the car, and especially here that I'm driving in the rough road going to my parents' house in the countryside. So right now I want to talk about being a teacher. Now, when you hear the word teacher, the first thing that comes to your mind is maybe someone who is an uptight person, doesn't joke a lot, doesn't drink, does not gamble, doesn't go to places where other people go, like casinos, things like that. Doesn't work dirty works. Maybe that's what you're thinking about a teacher. The teacher that we saw in movies, maybe that's the first thing that will come up to your brain to describe a teacher, right? The teachers of the movies are perfect, right? They're perfect human. They do not get angry easily. They are so intelligent. They don't curse. They wear formal clothes all the time. Well, that was the picture of a teacher that was painted through to us through movies. Or maybe you will think the opposite of it. When you hear the word teacher, maybe you'd think of someone who's holding a stick on his right hand and holding a chalk eraser on the other hand, and you maybe think of a teacher screaming on the top of his lungs to tell the class to keep quiet. Maybe you think about that kind of teacher, right? And I'm smiling right now because most of you maybe think of that kind of teacher. Even if you think of a teacher who always yells at his class, something like that. So what I want to show here is that when we hear the word teacher, we always think of those two extremes. Like it's either they're the perfect person, the kind, not easily irritated, so bright, doesn't do dirty works, things like that, always uptight. Or you think of the opposite, same as always uptight, but always yelling at you, telling you, insulting you, things like that. Now, what really is a teacher? We already know that a teacher is, someone who teach. But what are they really? Are they really that two descriptions that we said a while back? Right? Because oftentimes when we use someone who graduated as a teacher, you'll always say that, wow, he's a teacher. Wow, he's a teacher, and he's going to be like this, like that. He will not be drinking anymore. He will not be cursing a lot anymore. We think of those things, right? We think of the profession of being a teacher as a rite of passage to become a saint. Well, I have news for you people. That is fucking wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Having the profession as a teacher is not a rite of passage to become the Pope. Okay? That is the picture we think. That's why when we see teachers make mistake, we often say, oh my God, that is so shocking coming from a teacher like that. Oh my God, a while back I just heard this teacher making a podcast cursed. Oh my God, that is not being a teacher. We always think of that way. And we forget that that person who finished the profession, who finished the course of being a teacher, is still human, just like you. We often forget those things. That's the most important thing that you should never forget when you see a teacher. When you see a teacher, always think, okay, that's human. That is human. Yeah, he's working as a teacher, but still human. And when you say human, what does it mean? It means they make mistakes. Things that you do in your everyday life, things that you experience in your everyday life, they experience it. It just so happened that they're the one who chose to be a teacher, maybe because it's some sort of calling for them, maybe because it's what they finished, it's what's viable at the time, they're looking for employment, maybe because they think that they could offer something to the education system. They took the job, even if they know that the salary is not that good. At the end of the day, they are still human. So I am appealing to anyone listening to this podcast or watching this podcast to refrain from being, doing things like, or saying that, or expecting your teacher to be saint. Being a teacher does not make us the holiest of holies. Even being a priest won't make us that. It's just a job. Or it's a calling. Let's just put it that way. It's a calling that we practice. And with it, it entails a responsibility, of course, that we have to have. But at the end of the day, we are still human. Okay? We have the same problem as you do. We face the same hardship as you do. And we commit the same mistakes as you do, guys. Okay? All of us are trying to be a better person. Whether you are a teacher, whether you're an engineer, whether you're an attorney, whether you're a doctor, nurse, a farmer, all of us are trying to improve ourselves every day. Because that's development. That's the nature of human. We always try to develop ourselves. Right? We always try to have something better. It's like, look at this now. I'm trying to shoot a podcast, record a podcast using my phone, which is so impossible long time ago. Right? That's the nature of human being. But while we're doing the improvement, we are also making mistakes. And whether you are a teacher, a priest, or someone who has a lot of money in the bank, you are not exempted to that rule of nature. Okay? Yes, I'm just distraught with these things. As I saw a post a while back, maybe in the eye of this parent, a teacher who is she communicating with committed a mistake or maybe hurt her feelings, posted that conversation in the social media. Well, I would like to commend the parent for not revealing the name of the teacher, and that is so commendable. They love their teacher a lot, so they did not reveal the name. It's one way of showing love. And though I understand the parent, maybe she got hurt with what happened during their conversations. Well, now, when people read that one, when they saw that, comments like, "Oh my God, that is so unprofessional." Well, and just like, "Oh my God, how can a teacher do that?" Things like that. "Oh my God, she should be, she's not worthy to be a teacher." Things like that. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's the gist of the comments. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, these people forgot who they're dealing with. That is a human too, facing same problems, right? And to think that that teacher worked for more than 30 years, 20 plus years, for the children, and to be insulted like that, it's unbearable to me. I can't take it. I'm thinking like, is this a right profession? Because in a blink of an eye, you made a mistake. In a blink of an eye, people forgot the things that you did throughout your career. I know the teacher. I know her dedications. I know her capabilities. She's a bright teacher. Motherly teacher. But at times, people will stumble down because of a lot of things. That's what we humans forget. Please don't forget that your teacher is just a human. And we say that no human is perfect. We are fucking far from being a perfect person. Nobody's perfect, you say. It's a cliche. Nobody's perfect, and it's true. Right? Nobody's perfect. You might be saying, yeah, nobody's perfect, but you're a teacher, you should be a role model. Yeah, you're right, but even a role model may get tired sometimes, right? Will have shortcomings. Role models will also have shortcomings. All the teachers I know, except me, I'm not the kind of teacher, all the teachers I know in my workplace are trying hard to be a role model. All of them, including our school head, all of the teachers I knew. They're trying so hard to be a role model. And how about you? Are you trying so hard to be a role model now? I teach. I do at times, but not as much as my colleagues. But even them makes mistakes, and we have to be acceptable of that fact, that we have to be ready to accept the fact that our teachers will at times make mistakes, and be ready to forgive. Okay. Now, why did I include being ready to forgive a person who made mistake? Well, that is how that person will move on, grow up, and be a better person. If you will not forgive that person, keeps canceling them, like what's happening now, especially so prevalent in the United States, Canada, and the first world country where they're so progressive, they're so rich that they have nothing else to do but try to find people's mistake in the past, blow it up in Twitter, and cancel that person. Well, that will not bring you anywhere. That will not help that other person be a better human. People change, right? And when your teacher makes mistake, be ready to forgive them. You were hurt by your teacher, go to them. Tell them what happened. Have a dialogue with them. Talk to them. You know, the key to solving a misunderstanding is having more dialogue. The key to solving a great divide is not canceling someone. It's not removing them. It's not castigating them. No. The key to solving a misunderstanding is going to that person, having an open dialogue, listening to a person, listen to the person who you have an argument with, try to understand, listen and understand, and share also your view, and that will create a peaceful resolution. See? Please don't cancel our teachers. Right? That's what I want to share. Teachers are human too. It's not that because we are teachers we are now different, or we are now different from you guys. We are human, we do mistakes. Maybe a lot more than you guys. Especially me. Okay? Don't forget, we are human too.